Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Assalamu alaikum again.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillahi, akmaduhu wa astaqinuhu, wa astaqdihi wa astaqfiru, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa dahu la sharika lahu, wa ashhadu an Muhammadan abduhu wa rasul. All praise is due to Allah. I praise him and seek his assistance, and I beseech him with his guidance. And I ask for his forgiveness. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah, the one. He has no partners, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. Dear believers, invite all to the way of the Lord with beautiful preachings, and argue with them in ways that are best and most gracious, for the Lord knows best who has strayed from the path. I like to always include that. That's from the Quran, because one of the things as a Muslim, we must always remember that we live in a society that is not mostly Muslim, and we have to deal with our parents, you know, our brothers and sisters, friends, people on the jobs, and they're going to ask you questions about Islam. Some of them may ask mockingly, you know what I mean? You know, they don't really want to know, they just being a nuisance. But some people are sincere and sincerely are looking for new ways, a new way, right? So remember to sharpen yourself up as a Muslim. And remember, when you're talking about the Deen of Al-Islam, don't turn the people off. Because we have a big job in America. We have a bigger job of dawah than most Muslims have. You see, you don't have the luxury of not worrying about your brothers and sisters being lost, best friends and things like that. That's on your mind a lot. I know it is. And the younger you are, you have a strong connect with your peers, and ain't nothing wrong with that, because we all go through that. But remember, be dignified in your approach to the people who ask you questions about Islam. And that's in the Quran, okay? You know, say, invite all to the way. When you invite them and tell them about the deen, give them, you know, show them the beauty of Al-Islam. You see, it's a lot of, we get a lot of bad press in this day and time. And I never can understand how someone can, so-called Muslims can do some of the things they do. The word Muslim has the word Salim in it. Muslim. Salim is peace. The root of the word Muslim is peace. The root of the word Al-Islam, the peace. Now, how can you get twisted and think that we're talking about swords, fighting, murder, blowing up mosques? I mean, that's a long way from what it is. The peace. I'm a Muslim, my religion, that means I'm peaceful. My religion is peace. Okay? I ain't say being a suck that on everybody. You know, we ain't talking about that. You say turn the other cheek. Nobody hurt you, take advantage of you. But you are a Muslim. Okay? Your religion is the peace. All right? When the call is given for Juma, the Friday congregational salat, the prayer, hasten to the remembrance of Allah, the mighty, and leave off the trading. This is best for you, but no. In the beginning of the week, we, Monday, you know, if you work in a job, a traditional job, Sunday, you know, Sunday night, you getting your clothes together, blah, 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 big thing, getting yourself back together to get up and go to work Monday. But you got Juma, we're Muslims too. And I'm not saying you have to take off on Fridays, We don't believe in that. But still, be Muslim enough to let this be something important to you. Let this be important to you. Get your little perfume. You understand? I'm not trying to be crude or funny style. You understand? But wash you some clean clothes Thursday night. You understand? Put your little perfume up. You know what I mean? And come in. I like jeans. I wear jeans to Juma sometimes, right? Not when I'm doing the kuppah. But I wear jeans. I like shirts. Make sure that stuff is clean. You understand? You know, I know some of us are going through different things, but come in here with your best attitude, with your best dress. You understand? Make it something special to you. Make Allah something special to you. And that makes you more special to Allah. You see what I'm saying? Have reverence for what you believe in. You see? And don't get off track. I ain't saying you gotta dress up, because I don't like to dress up. But I make sure my jeans are clean. I make sure I got on something that smell good. I'm gonna take me a bath, a shower before I come in here. You see what I'm saying? So let it be something special for you. And if you work at a job or whatever, I understand that. I know that. You know what I mean? But even if you can't do it, the clothes, the mind and the attitude, you know, that's important. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Juma again. Dear brothers and sisters, let us be mindful in our approach to our duties to Allah. Remember now, the Imam, your husband, your wife, your brothers and your sisters are not your masters. You see? So that means that because I'm giving the kuppah today, I'm reminding you of things, I'm not your taskmaster. I'm not your slave master. Because your wife wakes you up for salat or remind you to be mindful to clean up this and clean that up, which is also part of the religion of your deen. Or you remind your wife to wake up and make salat, or she remind you not to curse, or you remind her not to curse, or in reminding each other of our religious duties. It's not just because I remind you of it, don't get mad at me. You see, it's your covenant with Allah that you're responsible for. Your shahadatain. You know, that's your shahadatain. That's not my shahadatain or my declaration that I believe in Islam. You said it, right? And it's a good thing that you said it. But that's yours. That's your responsibility. You are or you're not a believer. You are or you're not a Muslim. You don't have to play like you are a Muslim believer. You are free in this country. I heard Imam Muhammad give it a talk. I was reading something. And in this country, we don't kill you because you say, if you're a Muslim today, and you say you're not a Muslim tomorrow, ain't none of us, I ain't looking for, nobody in this room be looking for you to kill you, to hit you on your head. We ain't gonna cuss you out when we see you. You have a freedom to do that. And he was saying that when people say things like that and they want to use Islamic law or whatever, he said that law was for war. He said, like even in the Army of the United States of America, if you take that pledge, and there are Muslims in the army, you take that pledge to be in that army, and they at war, and then all of a sudden you say you want to go to the other side, even they are going to try to kill you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because that's war. And you jump up and say, I'm on the other side. If I'm on the battleground, and I'm in this uniform, whatever, you jump up, bow, I'm going to kill you myself. You see what I'm saying? Before you get over there and try to kill me. So it's a difference though in wartime and not in wartime. And thank God that we don't have to walk around over here with machine guns. And thank God it's not like that. You know, you should thank Allah for that. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun la budu mata abadun wale antum abaduna ma abud wale en abadun ma abatum wale antum abaduna ma abud lakmu dinukum wali yadin. with Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Say, O you who reject faith, I worship not that which you worship, nor will you worship that which I worship. And I will not worship that which you worship, or you have want to worship. Nor will you worship that which I worship. To you be your way, and to me be mine. I once heard Imam Muhammad give a talk, and he was speaking on faith. And today, a lot of my talk is about faith. But I'm paraphrasing in trying to give you this information and I got so much out of this, what he said, and I hope I can give it to you the right way that you can get something out of it. He said that people stop doing the things that are necessary to maintain and build faith sometimes, right? And so things unravel, bad things happen to you, you have bad thoughts, and so suggestions to do what's right from a Muslim or to build your faith, it irritates you. And then pretty soon you have a falling out with faith. You understand? You begin to blame things, and one of the things you blame is, oh, I don't need to be no Muslim. I got to give me some paper. You know what I mean? I need me a job. I can't be no doggone Muslim. And so you begin to have, and then you no longer want to do your prayers. You don't want to pay no zakat. You don't want to attend the Jummah. You don't want to you don't even want to talk to the believers anymore. And go on so far that you blame al-Islam for your problems. Your faith is something that you have to maintain. It's worth something to you. Your faith is rich. It's full of life for you, the proper faith. So it's worth maintaining. You got to do something to maintain it. And you have to continue to build your faith all your life. We have to keep our taqwa strong. That's God consciousness. Imam Muhammad said, one way we lose our God consciousness is that, or our taqwa is, and our faith is that as believers, we have like a voice in our head, an inner voice. And that voice is loud and clear. When you're doing what's right and you're submitting, another thing being a Muslim means and submitting to what's right, submitting to God's will. And so that voice tells you, get up and pray. Clean yourself. Don't take that don't belong to you. Don't argue with this woman. It's loud and clear, and it tells you to do what's good. And to respect this and respect that. But once you begin to ignore that voice, the next time the voice says, don't do that, you suppress that voice, right? So the next time that voice comes up, it says, don't do that, right? And you ignore it again. And this could be duties that you're telling yourself, I'm a Muslim, I need to do this. The next time it says, do this. And you ignore it. Or you say, I don't give a damn. I don't care. And it says, do this. And pretty soon, and you don't hear nothing. And you lose that consciousness. You see? You lose that consciousness. And you know you do it. I used to be a counselor, right? A drug counselor. And I had a guy that used to walk around, and I would catch him. You deal with a lot of mental health cases, you know what I mean? And you have to check on people when you see them do things that seem unnatural or out of the way. So this guy used to walk around, and you would say something to him, and then you see a look in his face, and then he might walk away, and you hear him say, I care, I care, I care, I care. And I was like, he was doing this all day long, and he wasn't cursing or nothing. Other than that, he was normal. So I said, one day, why you keep saying, I care, I care, I care? He said that, I can't say exactly what he said. He says, but usually when people say something to me that I don't like, or I don't feel like doing, I say, I don't give a F. And he said it was real loud in his mind. And he said, he don't like it, he get a funny feeling about it, I don't give a F. And that he said it was like an anthem to him. And he said that he didn't notice it until he came recovery and started trying to work on something. So he said every time he said, I don't give a F, he said he would say, I care. He said he would try to keep, he said the I care was his sanity. Not, he said he wasn't losing his mind when I saw him doing it. He tried to get his mind back because the insanity had him cursing, right? Everything he didn't like. And some of what he didn't like was good for him. So I don't give a F. I mean, he ain't thinking about it, boom, that's it for him. But he said that he learned to start thinking in recovery, and his thing was, I care. You see, that was a tool, and we're going to get to that too. He used that as a tool, okay, to help keep his sanity. And if you listen to I don't give a F, pretty soon you lose your guidance. You can lose your reverence for God Almighty. And that takes you into the darkness and into disbelief and true insanity. For the believer, Almighty Allah is the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Al-Malik, the king. Al-Alim, the all-knowing. Al-Qudus, the holy. Al-Khaliq, the creator. Al-Mu'yid, the quickener or the bringer to life. And Al-Mumit, the destroyer or the giver of death. Allah is Al-Wahid, the one God, one Allah. Al-Awwal, the first, and Al-Akhir, the last. And even more and more than that. They say Allah has 100 beautiful names. Allah has, you can't attribute no 100 names to Allah, or what Allah is in just 100 nouns. Allah is much, much, much more than just those beautiful 100 names we use for him. Allah says above every possessor of knowledge and science is the Almighty Allah himself. You know, no matter who knows something, what somebody think they know, Allah knows best. I want to share something from the Quran, and you know, and to continue with our talk. This is the surah, what we call Al-Qudsi, and I'm gonna give you the translation. O you who believe, spend out the bounties we have provided for you before the day comes when no bargaining will avail, no friendship, no intercession. Those who reject faith, they are the wrongdoers. Allah, there is no God but He, the living, the self-subsisting, the eternal. No slumber conceives Him, no sleep. His of all things, His are all things in the heavens and on earth. Who is there can intercede in His presence except as He permitteth? He knoweth what appeared to His creatures as before or after, or behind them. Nor shall they compass aught of His knowledge. Nobody can compass all of what Allah knows. They are just beginning to the scientists are just telling you, I'm hearing them admit, they don't know all of creation. It's no way that, I don't care how wise a person is, what kind of computer, a computer big as the earth, they cannot understand all of what creation is. Do you understand there are billions of stars? There are a billion stars in just this galaxy alone. And then they say there's 100 million galaxies. That's what they can count. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what number that is, 100 million billion stars. And guess what? They talking about stars, balls of fire. They ain't talking about planets like Earth and Jupiter and Mars. They ain't talking about the bodies that go around those stars. Now that's what their mind can comprehend. You see, nor shall they compass aught of His knowledge except as He willeth. His throne does extend over the heavens and the earth, and he feel no fatigue in God preserving them, for he is the Most High, supreme in glory. Let there be no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from error. Whoever rejects evil and believes in Allah has grasped the most trustworthy handhold that never breaks. And Allah hears and knows all things. Surely Allah, surely the Quran is the truth, and surely Allah speaks the truth. Dear brothers and sisters, don't forget the lessons of life. Don't forget your lessons of life. You've been learning since before the kindergarten. A lot of it was good stuff. Don't throw away your knowledge. Don't trivialize what you know. Don't trivialize who you are. Don't put yourself down. You are very important and very bright, and I know it. I'm someone who has the blessing, some people say is a curse, but I'll take it as a blessing, of working a lot of jobs. I have been on a lot of jobs in my life. I've worked at a lot of locations, and I met a lot of people. And we say the best way to get to know someone is to work with them, and I believe that's true. And it may be a surprise to some, but my report is that there are a great many of good people around. Bright and intelligent and well-meaning people. Many, many good people know how to do everything. Very smart African Americans. They know how to do everything. They ain't lacking. We ain't lacking for genius. We ain't chemistry, physics, numbers, building, doctor, lawyer, in chief. We not lacking for this kind of power up here. You got it. You got just as much as anybody. And you got just as much accomplishments in the world as anybody else. But the miswriting of history, they have wrote you out of history. You know it. You a man. You know it. You've seen it in your life. Some of the youngest person in here done seen it before. They have wrote you out, wrote your accomplishments out. We have to seek. You have to research to see what we've done. We've done so much for this country. And I'm not putting it down. I live here. You know, I want to be a good citizen too. I want to be a good neighbor. That if that means caring about your children and my children and children next door, whether they're white, Hispanic, whatever, I care. You see? And we know how to do everything. And I met a lot of kind and smart white people too. And they have taught me some things. I've learned a lot from white guys. I've met some decent white people. And smart white people. There has been more than a few has reached out to me and taught me new skills. And may Allah bless them for their good. But getting back to the African Americans, our people have great potential. Well, I'm talking about us. Because I'm home. I'm talking about your home. We talk about home life. I'm talking about your faith. I don't see no white people in here. I'm talking to you, okay? And I love you, and I got a lot of respect for you. And I think that working brings out our excellence. And education is very important. If we look at real history, you'll see that the African American as a people are not lacking for genius. There's a long list of African American doers, doctors, lawyers, educators, inventors, builders, soldiers, got courage, writers, musicians, etc. Our problem is not that we don't know how to do things. Our problem is that we don't have the proper faith and worship. We don't have the right guidance, the true knowledge of God Almighty. And see, no matter how smart you are, if you don't have the right knowledge and the right faith, then you off kilter. You're on a tilt all your life. You look straight up and down, but you're on a tilt. Your core is not right. Your heart can't be right if you don't have the right knowledge of God. And you don't have to be Einstein to get the right knowledge of God. It starts with your heart, not up here. Imam Muhammad said that, I heard him say this one time, never forget, some things people say just stick to you. He says that the heart, what the heart gets, he said if the heart don't get it, the brain never will. If the heart don't get it, the brain never will. That means if you can't feel it, you're not going to pursue it. All right. Almighty Allah, with the right knowledge of Almighty God. We know how to do. We know about physical tools, the physical sciences. Without the correct knowledge and worship of Allah, without the proper reverence and gratitude for Allah the Mighty, we are too often including our works, we are tools of the evil one. That means that you can be right and you can have right intentions, but if you don't have the right worship, if you're not understanding that God is Allah or Allah is God, if you don't understand that submission to Allah is what you got to do, if you believe that some white man with blue eyes, we don't know who modeled for the picture, but if you think that's God, if you think God, what the essence of God can fit in a man's body in totality, you see, then you're off. So you have to get a good understanding for the God. Of all the jobs that I've been on, I've been most impressed by the builders and the construction sites. All right. Now listen, before I leave this part, let me do this again. Black people, white people, Chinese people, whoever they are, whatever gifts they have, if they don't attribute gratitude for those gifts to the one God, their gifts they kneel and void. No matter how well-intending people are with their gifts and their works, too often they are manipulated by the evil ones. Beware. Be aware of yourself. Okay? You gotta choose up. But whose side you on? I'm working for Allah. And if that's my sincere intentions, it's going to be hard for somebody to take my stuff and plagiarize it. Y'all know what plagiarize. Somebody else put their name on your works, right? But it's going to be hard for them to do that. The more intelligent you are, the more sincere you are about your deen, al-Islam, the harder it is for your enemy to use you. You see? And we all have enemies. Of all the jobs I've been on, I'm most impressed by the builders. I love those construction jobs. They were fun, and I loved them. I love the pride that the builders had. And I admire their sincere, or they're not sincere, but their serious connection to their work and the respect they have for the tools. You talk to a man that makes a living with tools, boy, you think he's talking about his children, you know what I mean? Sometimes when he talk about his tools. And that's because he makes his money with his tools, right? And he respects them. From the start, digging and building a foundation, talking about those construction sites. From the start, digging and building a foundation, the bricklayers, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, all of them, even the painters, wallpaper men, carpet layers, the glazers or the window people, and whoever else comes on those jobs. They all have a kind of a unique pride about their work. I'm not saying nobody else don't have pride. I'm not saying nobody else's job is not important. I get sick, I don't want to see a bricklayer. You understand? I want to see a doctor. You know, I have trouble with the law, I want to see a lawyer. I want to see a bricklayer or a builder. But I'm talking about building. That's part of my talk. Check this out. I've been on a lot of sites. And when I say a lot of sites, I don't mean 2 or 3, 10. I mean, I've been on a lot of sites. I've done contracted, subcontracting. I was subcontracting. I was a carpet layer for 5 years. I was all through Reston, Washington, all downtown. I was on a lot of jobs as a lot of buildings as a carpet layer, and I was also a drywall man. I did drywall and the metal studs. You know, some places they do the wood frames. I put up wood frames, but what I mostly did was put the metal frames up, put the drywall on. So I was on a lot of different sites like that, and I even was a glazer for a little while. And on all these different sites, some of them had the little van, double wide trailer, whatever. Some of them had the trailer on. That's if you in the beginning, you know what I mean, of the site. But sometimes we got on the sites and the building was already up and it was just for us to do what we had to do. And I'm saying all the builders, the craftsmen, from the diggers, of the foundation to the wallpaper men. People just putting wallpaper on. They can look at one set of blueprints. The blueprints are always right there. You don't have to say, "Boss, can I go to the superintendent? May I see the blueprints?" The blueprints are somewhere where everybody can get it, right? And when you look at the blueprints, you look for what you're doing, right? Because you got a lot of people coming through the stuff. Okay, there's a certain language for the plumbers. Plumber can look at the blueprints and see what he's supposed to do. Electrician look at the same copy of blueprints and see what he need to do. They got different color inks, different kind of language. And then I did carpet laying for so long. Look, they even got the cuts of the carpet on the same blueprint. You go look at the windows, bricks, everything on this, and you look and there's the carpet. So many by what show you the shape of the carpet. Boom, 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 boom. Tell you what kind of pad put down or no pad, glue down, whatever. That wallpaper man, look at it, boom. You see? So as we do have, and so we are different people too. Things still talking about building. We're different people, and we have different skills. But look, we got one book. Just like this is more important. This is the mother of books. This is the purpose. Gives you a purpose for building. You see what I'm saying? Give you a blueprint for society. This is a blueprint for building your soul, building character. You see? How to build yourself as a man or a woman. Tools in it. Tools. Well, yeah, tools too. When I was a counselor, our lessons that we gave the people were called tools. You see? They were tools. This, boom, take this, do this, yes or no, true, false, write down this. That was a tool. You see what I'm saying? They are not just what's in a toolbox. Tools are in here. Not only this is a blueprint, this is a very unique book. Not only are there blueprints for building yourself, for building your faith, there are tools in here that you can use. What I mean, the lessons that you get out of here are tools for you to use to build yourself, to build your faith. Man knows how to do a lot of things, good, and too often he knows how to do bad things too. But remember, Allah is the best knower, and the Holy Quran is the best book, the one book for all of us. The Quran is like a blueprint, but much more. A blueprint for building the self, for building the nest. You could build your soul with the lessons and the inspiration of the Quran. And the Quran teaches us to build character, and it tells us how to build a family unit. It teaches us how to work and interact with our family, and it instructs us in the building of a community, how to build our community. And we got to do it. Look, sooner or later, you're going to wake up and realize that you want to live next door to a Muslim. It's going to get to that real fast. The Hispanics do it. You look at one Hispanic will move in the neighborhood, next thing you know, all of them in the neighborhood, and then they open up their little business. They open up their business and they support their business. They don't ask how much is the Negroes charging for this, how much the Chinese do it too. They didn't ask how much the Chinese charge, they're going to support their own. The Koreans and the Chinese support their own. The Arabs, they move into the same neighborhoods. They support their own. And we used to do it. We used to do it. But now, I don't know, something. I know what that something is, and that's another long talk. You see, divide and conquer. But I'm not going to get into that. Ways to make us, to turn us against each other. And people work at that. They work at it. That ain't something that just come by osmosis. People are working at pulling us apart. But I'll get to that another time. And building the community. Let us pray for forgiveness. Assalamu alaikum. All praise is due to Allah. We ask Allah's peace and blessings on the one best among us, the best among the prophets. That's Muhammad ibn Abdullah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as well as on his family and companions. Allah and his angels send blessings on the prophet. O you who believe, send your blessings on and salute him with all respect. That's another part of the Jummah, or Friday. We give our du'as for Prophet Muhammad, but we should have, on Fridays, we should make extra du'as for the Prophet and his descendants. A better existence for us starts with our faith. The sincere and intelligent worship of the one God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should recognize and use the tools Allah has provided for us. Please don't be so physical minded that we don't understand that the lessons we learn from the Quran and the Sunnah are tools. The lessons of our life experiences are tools. And our du'as, our du'as are tools. They are du'as for leaving the house, for entering the house, before we eat. They're du'as for almost everything we do in life. And they're tools. Let us use our tools to build our taqwa, our God consciousness. In closing, I want to read say a few remarks, have a few remarks before we close. Whoever of you sees an evil action, let him change it with his hand. If he is not able to do so, then with his tongue. And if he is not able to do so, then with his heart. And that is the weakest of faith. Remember, love for your brother what you love for yourself. I don't want you to misunderstand the spirit. You know, it's a song out that I love this song. It said, please don't let me be misunderstood. You know, nice song. But it's another song that I'm gonna give you some of the words to this song before we close out. It says, I'll be sweeter tomorrow than I was yesterday, right? It starts saying, I always like to be on my P's and Q's. The OJs did it. This is old school, y'all. The OJs did it, but I like it better by Linda Jones. And it says, and I always think about my wife because I know I can get on the nerves sometimes, and I'll be singing this song, hoping she can hear me singing, you know what I mean? But anyway. But it's also, to me, I get a spiritual feel from it. You know what I mean? You know, for myself. Not just a baby, baby, baby song, but I get a spiritual feeling from this. It says, I know you love me the way I am, right? It says, but something deep inside of me says, keep doing more if you can. And it says, I know I'm doing my job. He said, but I'm going to squeeze more love out of this old heart. You see? And what am I saying? I'm saying, as a believer, as just an intelligent person, every day you live, if you live to be 100 years old, try to be a better person tomorrow than you was today. In those inseparable and ties that we cannot cut. You can think you can cut your family off. You can't cut them off. You see what I'm saying? You can't cut them off. Try to be a better person yourself every day you live. And especially if you got a wife, then you better try to be sweeter tomorrow than you was yesterday. Because it's worth, if you got in a relationship in the first place with a woman, and you got a child by her, it was worth something in the first place, right? So now it ain't worth nothing. She got on your nerves, it ain't worth nothing. It should be worth you trying to get along with her, right? You know, and part of that is education, and it's a give and take situation. You young mandingos, you know what I mean? Y'all got to know that you got to give. When it comes to women, it ain't all taken. You got to give and take, okay? I seek refuge from the knowledge that brings no good, and from the heart that has no fear of Allah, and refuge from the prayer that cannot be entertained, and the self that cannot be satisfied. Allah, we beg the good of this life and protect us from the torment of the hellfire. Hakeem Salah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة، قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. Amen. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Kul ya ayyuhal kafirun. La budu ma ta'budun. Wa la antum abuduna ma abud. Wa la an abudun ma abatun. Wa la antum abuduna ma abud. Lakum dinukum wa li yadin. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Bismillah liman hamida.
ربنا لك الحمد.
Allahu Akbar.
الله أكبر.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal 'asr. Inna al-insana lafi khusr. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أتيناك الكوثر أصيلي فصلي لا ربك وانها إنا شاني هو أبتر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
بسم الله لمن حمده.
ربنا لك الحمد.
الله أكبر.
الله
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Waalaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. That's gonna cook. Oh, you got